Guns, I has it. Hello everyone, Paul Crummer here, and this is my Sig P938 Legion. I just got it, so let's take a look. Okay, here we have the pistol all wrapped up. And it has one magazine in it. Take that out. There's two magazines in the case. One magazine here. No ammunition. I'm sure that's an oversight. A single action, 1911 style. And I did actually test the trigger on this when I first bought it, and now I'm getting it back after the waiting period, and it's a really nice, there's no creep whatsoever. Well, a slight bit of creep, it stops. That is really nice. Just a very little bit of creep. It hits a wall, you apply a little bit more pressure, and it really breaks cleanly. So I'm happy with that. Tilting barrel Browning type design. We have a mag well here, which is nice. There's some oil from the preservative that they put on it when they wrapped it up, and you can see a little bit of that on the grips as well. But totally new firearm, of course. Nice checkering here. Checkering underneath the trigger guard. That's nice. Checkering here. Ambidextrous safety. Front and rear serrations. And we have a nice illuminated green dot. So that's pretty sweet. Let's see, extractor. All right, let's do that again. Very slight bit of creep. Perfect. You can't ask for anything better than that. It's like a crisp 1911. It's said to be gray. It looks a little bit green, which is just fine with me. Fits well in the hand. With the magazine, you've got a little extension here, so that get a good 3 fingers on that. No problem at all. A little bit of a beaver tail. Plenty of room for your hand on that. I think you can, yes, you can put the safety on even when it's not cocked, which is an interesting aspect of this particular one. I think other single actions of this style, you can only put the safety on when it's cocked. But this is pretty nice. You get your instruction manual and the 2 magazines. It's a 6-round magazine, no, 7-round magazine, and then 1 in the chamber. I think that, oh, there's the usual lock. And so, very nice. Well, I was wrong. You don't get a manual. You just get the safety instructions and warranty information. And then you have these other things. But there's a QR code to download the manual. You can go on SIG's website and download it as well. The Sig P938s are all metal, 9mm, no provision for a rail, no provision for optics. That's fine with me and a lot of other people. The difference between the 938 Legion and a standard 938, I believe, consists of the extended magwell and the sights and the 3 magazines. And they, just like the one that's in there, these come with the grip extension as well. And I believe the finish is also exclusive to the Legion. Another difference between the 938 Legion and other 938s is that the edges have been smoothed and rounded to help in carry. And I've also noticed there seems to be this asymmetry or gap between the barrel and the slide, but I've seen that on other 938s as well, so I assume this is normal. Next step is to disassemble it, reassemble it, take it to the range and shoot it. For disassembly, first remove the magazine and check to make sure. You want to leave the hammer back and the safety off. Now you'll notice there's the takedown notch right here, and when you move the slide back, that will align with a slide lock tab that you can see there. And this slide lock needs to be pushed out. Unfortunately, this pin, unlike Model 1911s and other guns that are single action, this is pretty flush. So it's hard to push that pin out. And I'm going to be using basically a wooden paintbrush to help do that. So first align the notch, and there's a decent amount of spring pressure, but I think that's the best way to hold it, like this. Then I'm going to try to push out from the other side, because if you put your finger there, there's nothing for your finger to push onto. So try to push that, and even that, okay, there we go. It came out. That could be designed a little bit better. So let the slide come forward. It says move it forward until it comes off, but that is kind of tight. Didn't expect that, but that's what happened. Now, I know this is a difficult part. Not so much taking it off, but this has to be pushed forward. Just get a good grip on that. And then lift it up and out. So there we have on the barrel. So now we have the slide, recoil spring, guide rod, barrel, and the lower frame. I know when you put this back, you're not supposed to push too far down on that. You're supposed to push it far enough down so that the slide will come back on. Always leave the hammer back and the safety off. With the gun apart, what I'm going to do is lightly oil the inner part of the rails here on this where metal comes in contact with metal. Put a light coating of oil there, a light coating of oil on the spring and the guide rod, and also on the contact surfaces of the barrel cam here. Just put a light coating of oil there. Same thing for the lower frame. Just put a light coating of oil on the rails and the contact points where metal comes in contact with other metal. Some lithium grease or a very light coating of grease would work just as well. I use just ordinary CLP and something called Gun Slick, and I think that will help prevent a lot of wear over time. For reassembly, first step, put the, you can see some of the gun slick grease on there. Put the barrel in, and now I'm going to use on the guide rod, the curved part goes down towards the barrel. And if you try to just put this, I know from looking at previous YouTube videos, if you just try to put this in, it's going to be fairly difficult. I'm going to try it just once to see how difficult it is. Yeah, that's not a lot of fun. So YouTuber Arkansas Gun Guy suggested putting like a cleaning rod, and I've got this wooden paintbrush, and I'm going to use that. Put that there, and then use that to help guide the spring. Wow. That's not something you want to do very often. But I don't know if that got caught on video or not, but basically just holding the paintbrush into the spring and up against the guide rod as you continue to push the guide rod forward, that's the key to getting it in. Now for reassembly, first check to make sure that the barrel and guide rod are properly positioned. Then simply put it on the rails. And when you get to this point, press this down bit by bit until it clears. And you get to this point. Now at this point, you line up the holes so that it's perfectly clear with no obstructions, and push that in to capture the barrel. Line up the takedown notch, and then lift up on the slide stop, move it over so that it'll just drop in. Like that. And then just check for proper operation. There we are. The gun did not come with any ammunition, but I happen to have a 9mm round, so let's go to the range. Keep the change, you filthy animal. This is my target from the range. I flinched at shot 2, and I was holding the pistol a little bit too lightly for shot 3, but for the other shots, they grouped pretty nicely. This was only at 15 yards, and I tried all 3 magazines for a 50-round test, and I put 7 rounds in each magazine and 1 in the chamber, and there were no problems at all in feeding, firing, extracting, and ejecting, so I'm pretty happy with that. In summary, this was a very pleasant pistol to shoot. It wasn't too snappy. It was easy to acquire a sight picture, and the only issues I had really were the first time I took it apart and put it back together. Since then, doing it a couple more times, it has become a lot easier. So this is going to be a very nice pistol for me to do a 1,000-round test on over time. And thank you for watching.